to Bizemag Podcast, which is launched by Business Strategy e-magazine by the group L'strategyq Advisors. I am Dr. Vaneeta Aggarwal, CEO of L'strategyq Advisors and Business Strategy e-magazine. Today, our guest is Mr. Andrew Schatkin from United States. He is author of 10 books, and today we will be talking about business
Hello?
strategy that affect or
Hello?
impact the growth of
Do you hear
businesses.
me?
Welcome, Mr. Andrew, to our show. It's our honor and pleasure to have you on Bizemag Podcast, which will also be uploaded on YouTube channel Low Strategy.
Okay, great. I'm very happy that you would give me the opportunity to speak on subjects that may be of very importance. And I'm willing to, of course, to converse with you and have some sort of interchange.
Thank you, Andrew. So, for my audience, I would introduce Andrew. Today, you cannot see him with full face because he has some problem with headphones and he has uh, go down towards the screen. Andrew Schatkin is the host of 2 radio shows and the author of 10 books with 4 more in process. And today he is going to talk about business strategies that work. He has a long experience of working with businesses and helping them in grow. So I'll ask you, Andrew, would you please tell our audience about yourself?
Sure, I'll do that. Not a, and I'm doing it as informational. I run a business, an educational consultant business, and I do in fact host 2 radio shows. And let me say this: I welcome, even though the shows have a Christian orientation. I happen to be a Christian. I welcome all faiths and all ideas and all opinions. I really do. I think it's the best way. And I listen to what a person has to offer me rather than engaging in some sort of rejection because I have some preset opinion. I'm willing to hear the person out, what they have to say, and that's about it. I also have written a number of books, Christian religious books and legal books, and I have just published a book on the Psalms in the Bible, and I am planning books on my blog books on my over 700 blogs, political, literary, and theological, and I'm planning a book on the miracles in the Bible and a book on the book of Job. Of course, as I said, I have no issue with other streams of thought. As a matter of fact, I have a very great interest in Marx and Marxism. I really do. I think, for example, I think that Karl Marx, addressed some very significant issues in society. I think he did. He was twisted and misused, I think, by Lenin and the Communist Party in Russia, but he had ideas about eliminating classes, which I thought was good, about of having income, of eliminating income inequality. I think that's good. And he also had the idea of universal health care. These were all good ideas, which he addressed. And these ideas were in response to the oppression of the Russian government at that time. And as a matter of fact, I think Marx, for example, I know it's going to sound like that I'm a communist, and I'm not a communist, but I see his points. And as a matter of fact, Marxism has distinct resemblance to Christian belief. Very much so. Christians don't want to admit that because they're uncomfortable with Marx being close to them in thinking. But he is. He really is. Anyway, that's what I do, and
Great, Andrew.
I appear on radio shows.
Uh, I went through your website. I saw you have a long experience, legal experience also in the field of legal, being a lawyer, being
Right.
attorney. I guess so. We are talking to a very experienced person who has knowledge about corporate law, I guess, and legal.
Right.
So, Andrew, what do you think? What will you tell our audience? Is business only a matter of money, or is it a passion, or
No, this
is it
is something I
wisdom?
disagree with. I'm not a materialist. I think materialism is a failed system. I think it's a mistaken system. I am not particularly geared to having money as my sole concern. I think you need it. I think it's a tool that you can improve the world with, but I don't think that having a lot of money, to me, does not raise that person up particularly. I reject the idea of classes based on money. Don't like it, disagree with it. And I think that poverty stricken people or people of all kinds of races and maybe without advantages, actually, they're quite as intelligent as anybody else.
Mhm. And how do you suggest or guide the entrepreneurs or anybody who is wanting to
What are you
start?
asking me?
What should be the thinking process in going ahead while starting a business?
In starting a business is based on human beings. It's based on convincing people that you have something worthwhile to say to them and regarding them, the customers, as worthwhile, not merely giving you money, but in terms of the relationship. Everybody's life, your life, my life, everybody's life consists of relationships. And I think that the business of life is helping people. The business of life is loving people. The business of life is being a person who can be a positive person in the world and make the world a better place. As we all have our truth through the world. We all kind of travel along a certain route that we're given. And I suggest that we not concern ourselves with getting things for ourselves. Many people, let me tell you, many people are solely driven by self. And that is a terrible mistake. Self love and self interest, etc., are mistaken ideas, I think. They lead to do abuses. They people in who take over tyrannical governments. Those people lead to abuses because of their self love and self interest. We all should be concerned with our neighbor, as Jesus said. And I'm a Christian. That doesn't mean I have any problem with Hinduism or Islam or any other religion, which shares these views. But he does say to love your neighbor and love your enemy. And he is making a point that we are obligated to concern ourselves with others to the extent we are able to do that. So I agree with him.
So Andrew, as every business means dealing with customers and dealing with clients, winning more and more customers. Then only a business is successful in true terms.
Dealing with clients is a matter of giving the person consideration, concern, if not love. That is the key to getting people to come to you. And it's only when that person understands who comes to you that you care about them that you will be able to have success in the business you are in. That's my absolute opinion. Unless you convince genuinely that client and that customers that you care about them beyond them giving you money, then you will succeed. I don't believe you will succeed on a purely material basis. I think people see through it, they don't like it, and they actually resent it.
Mhm. So anything else that you want to share with our audience? We are global
Okay,
audience here.
this is my last word.
Andrew, if you can just sit back without headphones, because when
Okay,
we're speaking, we do not need headphones. So you
underneath the
can
headphone.
just relax, yeah, and just be, because audience would like to see your face. Right now, we can only see your head.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, that looks good.
all right.
Yeah.
This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. My last word is uh, life is a battle. We confront forces of evil, unfortunately, and selfishness and self-love. But those who choose to reject those concepts and love their neighbor as themselves, as much as they can love that person, and love your enemies as much as you can do it, this is the key to success.
I think that was great advice. Being businesses sometimes make people ruthless, and they tend to forget human values beyond competition, beyond money, beyond winning clients, and sometimes stooping down to low standards of conducting business. And basic humanity values are the most important values one should keep in mind while dealing whether in business or in personal life, because that will take you a long way, I guess. That's what
I think
the
so.
message
It
from you.
will, because it's people want. What was your name again? What was your name again?
Vanita.
Juanita? People, if you're probably experienced dealing with people, and people want to be cared about. They want to be to be have people concern themselves with their affairs. They don't want someone who just wants to get into their wallet. If you take that position, the person people are smart enough to know that they're not the business for you. Okay, a business will be successful if that person cares about the people who come to them as much as he can.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
so
anything
that's it, right?
else out of your wisdom of pearls that that can benefit youngsters, youth of today in this COVID-19 pandemic?
What are you asking me?
I'm asking any other wisdom of pearls that you would like to share with current generation, youth and youngsters during these pandemic times. Like India and some other countries are badly hit even now.
Yes, that is very bad. And that is it is because the world does not look, as I said, the world does not, I hate to say this, it is the world doesn't have much concern for people who suffer and die. I don't think so. I mean, but that is the world, that is, and it is not a good place particularly for many people. There's a great deal of poverty, there's a great deal of suffering, there's a great deal of things bad happening to people. And people should, Western countries should concern themselves with these people and seek to help them.
Thank you, Andrew. That was great talking to you.